Oh, I drove over the wall. Yep, bad driving. I'm blowing your tank up. What? Who said that? Hey guys, this is TGStudios in Roblox Studio. Blimey, it's been a while since I've done my last video. Yeah, sorry about that. It's I've had a bit of trouble with life. Like what's actually happened was my mum has actually died, and basically I've been sort of pulling myself back together after getting everything all sorted out. I'm still in the process of getting things sorted out so far, where I'm still sorting out the house I'm living in at the moment. I was living with my mum, so basically we are in the process of getting everything handled, like bills and things that she was paying into my name and my sister's name, sort of thing. So it might be still a few breaks in between here and now, sort of thing, until I can get myself sorted out. But as I say, it's still in the sort of amending process. I've been through a bit of mourning because of that horrible news and things. Anyway, I'll be doing a video on that later, explaining what is exactly actually happened. So anyway, what I would like to, on lighter notes as I say, what I'd like to show you today is, do you remember this little tank game that I was making a little while ago? Well, I've actually got collisions into it now, and as you can see, a little explosion. Oh, bug! I've just spotted a bug. Lovely. So what I've actually done is I've worked out a way of getting collisions in Roblox's UIs. As you can see, it's very basic at the moment. It's just reversing the direction of the tank, and now I'm just driving over my walls. Lovely. But there is a collision there, as you can see from the shells. No sound at the moment because I haven't worked out what they should sound like. And I was actually thinking prior to actually recording this was maybe I could leave the level design up to you guys, and I can select the best one for the game. So all you would do, I'll actually stop the game, create a bunch of frames. It can be any name inside a screen GUI, and then once it loads, we'll have to have a starting point. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, where then my script adds in the screen border, which I may hide that later, and this is the actual tank itself. You see that? So you don't have to worry about these or this lot. That might change in future. That's just me defining the collision box, if you like. And when we create a shell, it creates one here. So if you would like to, and I'll be honoured to, you could design a little level for this little thing, and hopefully by then I'll have some kind of AI up and running, another tank. It's been quite a long process. As I said, things have been going on in my life, and I've been literally put this on hold. But the collision part of this code isn't actually truly my code. It is from a Java based collision system. I know, fancy. But I've just converted it over to Lua, and I'm beginning to trying to understand it. So I should quickly show you the code behind it. It's very, very messy at the moment. Everything's all over the place. So we got our driving keys, which is T for forward, G for backwards, F for turn left, and H to turn right. And this is just all the values. Yeah, I've got everything everywhere. I'm just debugging it and making it and deciding what I want as I go, sort of thing. There's no script, as I say. If you see this fire rate and reload time, I've actually disabled that for this demonstration, and I was actually debugging the explosion, because I've just this minute finished the explosion part of it, when the shells hit the wall. And look at that, that's beautiful. So that is working from the actual animations themselves are actually working from, if I open this up, from a sprite sheet, and I'm animating it in code. And the same for the tank. Open. Yeah, so that's the tank. So it's just just two pictures, and I'm just animating it in code. And it took a bit to work out. And there we go. There's the turret. How many frames we got, and the base of the tank, and how many frames we got of that. And this turret is actually using frame 4 of that same picture, because you can see that it's the same number for the number ID. So yeah, a little bit of wizardry. And the new bit which I've added in, which is explosions, and that's using that that explosion thing that I showed you, this thing. So it's using that. Nope, go away you. Thank you. So the way the script works is it's creating the script on, or should I say creating the sprites as you load up. If I go down to where it creates the sprite, where are we? Got create bullet, that's a separate function. I might integrate that into the main function later for creating the sprites. That is for creating my border around the screen. There we go. Create sprite, tank sprite. And that's creating the turret and the let's actually load in a couple of pictures so I can actually explain it better. Bear with me a few secs. Image label and duplicate. Right, so let's set those two IDs. Might do 3. So this is the base and the turret. Copy. There we go. Let's resize that. So there's the tank, and now the explosion. Yeah, so the way I'm sort of cutting that up, I'm using the image reticle ret offset setting to actually cut up the image, and that's that one. There we go. And now that, if I actually run the game with those in, they will have collision boxes. This is how simple this collision thing is now. I say that now and it doesn't work. Because I forgot to set a few little things. Yes, because the only way this would actually work is we have to put the anchor point to 0.5. is the way I programmed it. I'll be changing that later, because I tried to make a dynamic version of that where it doesn't matter where the anchor point is, it will load up or work properly. Yep, there we go. We got a collision on those images. So it doesn't have to be frames, it can be basically anything really. So there we go. Oh, I'm driving over it. Yeah, so it's still in its infancy, but it's getting there. And I'm hopefully keeping to my promise that I made, I think it's actually a couple of years ago now, where I'll make a game, a true game. And I thought rather than make it in 3D, I'll make it in 2D. Perhaps I can make this into a multiplayer. So just to make sure, just to show you guys that this is not coded in advance, I've moved that somewhere there. And there we go. So it's sort of the way the collision works is it's checking for the points at the edges of the frame. It doesn't matter if it's rotated or not. Then it's checking it from in this case, the shell. Can I actually pause that while it's going? I can. So it's checking the points of the shell itself. As you can see, it's just a box rotated to the turret. So as it runs, if any of those points overlap the other frame, it will come back as true when it's overlapping. Where are we? There we go. This is heavily modified from a Java function that I found online. I don't know where it's from. It's just a random script that said that it would do a polygon. Like you can have any shape polygons and it will check all the little points in that polygon. Like you can have I don't know, a star shape if you wanted to. But because Roblox can't have anything different to just frames or images, it would have to be just a box shape. But the code is there for future proof, where we can actually have, I don't know, a curve if you wanted to, and it's still as long as there's points in that curve, it will work. But the only other thing that I may change in the future is the way the code excuse me, the way the code is actually working now is it's checking everything inside its walls array. Like it's checking is that frame or that shell overlapping that, is it overlapping that, etc, 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 and the border. So if you have too many frames, if I actually create a lot of turret shells, you can see it just slightly slow down a bit. So what would happen if I do this? Let's duplicate this one a bunch of times and then duplicate them again. Let's see how slow that's running now. A little bit slower, so it can't be too complex. So if you like, I'll leave that up to you how you want to design your levels, and please be creative. I'm no good at creating levels, as you can see here. So yeah, so they can be frames, which is what these are, image labels. What else can I add to this? Let's have a look. No, that's a 3D object, Gary. That don't work. Could even be image buttons if you wanted to. Let's do that. Would that work? Set the anchor point to 0.5. So it's at the center. Yep, that works. And what else have we got? Let's actually rotate that thing. Like so. So yep, that works. Yes. Oh, I drove over the wall. Yep, bad driving. I'm blowing your tank up. What? Who said that? Right, so what else have we got? I got sidetracked. What would a text label do? If I actually hide the background, what would that do? Right, see what that does. Ooh. Nope. That's a weird one. Yeah, so it's, at this stage it's still experimental, as you can see. 0.8. And of course these things can actually move. Oh, I know why that's doing that, because I forgot to put my anchor point to there. There we go. So if you wanted to, you can actually have it moving. There you go. And that will update. The only thing I haven't worked out yet is when something collides with another object in programming, you reverse the direction that the object's going, and you also position that object outside of the wall. At the moment I have not done that because I don't know how to do that yet with UIs, but that will be to like in the future, how to do things. Right, so let's have a little game. I'm gonna blow up those walls. Yeah, at the moment there's no transfer of damage or anything like that. It's just the visual effect at the moment. And that is spot on. Look at that. Lovely. So yeah, if you want to design, you don't have to, design a level for this tank game, just remember everything that you add, put the anchor point to 0.5. At this point anyway. In the future I may work that one out where it doesn't matter where the anchor point is and it will still work. Otherwise you have a ghost collision. Like, let's just say this wall here, I'll put that back to 0. So the actual collision box is there, but the actual visible part of the wall has been put down and to the right. So when I run the game, we're not colliding with the wall, but we're colliding with the ghost image, if you like. So yeah, let's put that back. So let's actually create a little script that would rotate one of these walls. So wall 1, let's do that. Right. Wall 1, rotation. Plus, come on, thank you. Right, so there we go. You've got a rotating wall. Can I fire through the gap? Woohoo! Can I drive through the gap? Yeah, I got squashed. No, I got squashed. So yeah, you can actually have them moving as well if you wanted to. So yeah, that works nice. Anyway, this has been TGStudios in Roblox Studio on, I guess, an update on my tank game. And hopefully soon, if you want to make those levels, you can do. And either comment on this video that a link to it, sort of thing. Like a, I don't know, save it on Roblox and give me the link to it. Or maybe save the actual game itself as a save as. So then I could just copy it in. So anyway, yeah, this has been TGStudios in Roblox Studio, and hopefully soon I'll be back to normal. Anyway, this has been TGStudios, and as I've already said about 4 or 5 times now, signing out, and catch you for the next one.